Hi guys, it's Susan. It's Hot Mess Mama. It's Wednesday, Wheatgrass Wednesday. I love my Wednesdays. My Wednesdays is when I get to do all my yoga and all of my barfoot, and I get to have my wheatgrass. I love Wednesdays. It's my Zen place. Anyways, wanted to do this really quick Facebook Live because it's something I was thinking about this morning. My son was talking to an adult, and he was saying that he wished that he was a kid again, like a baby again. And they said, why? And he said, well, because my sister's a baby. His little sister's 3, and my son Enzo is 6. So Enzo, the 6-year-old, says, I wish I was like, my sister is a baby. I have a 3-year-old sister, and she gets whatever she wants. And so I want to be a baby again. And so I was thinking, I said to him, Enzo, she may get whatever she wants, and then you just take it right away from her. I'm like, you know what? She doesn't always get what she wants, just like you don't always get what you want, right? But it kind of got me thinking, does he really think that we give her everything that she wants? Does he think that maybe we think she's our favorite? And then I was like, I know that I feel like my parents had favorites. I feel like it was very clear that both my mother and my father favored my sister. And I've always felt that way. And I've even talked to my sister about it. I'm like, you know what, you were the golden child. You were always a golden child. I didn't feel like I was hated. I was never hated. I was never disliked. But like, I always kind of felt like she could do no wrong, and she was always praised for being beautiful and smart and talented. And I was just kind of like, she's our Spitfire. You know how that is, and that's not always a good thing. And my brother, they said, oh yeah, he's an intelligent guy. He's a good man. But like, there was never any like passionate love for my brother, and there really wasn't any kind of passionate love for me. There was like this fire for my sister, and we felt it. And my sister, you ask my sister, and she'll tell you that she never felt like she was a favorite. And my brother will say that he never felt like he was a favorite, and I certainly never felt like I was a favorite. I think that they may have thought that I was the favorite because I was the baby of the bunch, and I got a lot of he supposedly got attention. So it's kind of funny how we all kind of thought we were not the favorite, and another one was the favorite. So am I making any sense? So I was thinking to myself, does my son already sense that he is less loved or less favorite than my daughter? And is it too young for my daughter to feel the same thing, that maybe her brother is more favored? And then I was like, okay, did my mom have a different favorite than my dad? Like, did they both have the same favorite? And I really do feel like they both favored my sister. But then I think about my kids, and I think, do I really have a favorite? And does my husband have a favorite? And who are they? Because there are moments where like I want to throw my son out the window, right? But then there are other moments where I'm like, I carried you in my belly for 9 months, and I prayed and hoped for you forever and ever, and I have this connection to you biologically, and I love you madly, and you're still like mama's boy still, and you're still my cuddle monster, and I still love you very, very much. But then I have that deep love for my daughter where I'm like, you're the apple of my eye. I prayed for you for so long, and God gave me such a gift by, having a birth mother, let us care for you. And adopting her was such a joy and such a blessing, biggest gift I've ever received and biggest responsibility I've ever received. So gosh, I love her, and I love watching her grow up, and she's adorable, and she's loving and hugging and kissing and sensitive and sweet and funny, but like there are moments where I like I said, like her brother, want to throw her out the window. Then there are moments where I just want to throw them both out the window. So I guess that's probably when they feel like they're on equal playing ground. But so, yeah, do they really feel like there's a favorite? And is there something really wrong with it? And I always feel like, oh my gosh, my husband totally favors my daughter. Like he thinks, I'm sure that if he had to pick, he would say that she was his favorite. And if I had to pick, I honestly don't know what I would say. I probably would say right now that my son is my favorite. But that's just today. I mean, that could change tomorrow. And does that favoritism ebb and flow? And does it change? Like when my son becomes a teenager, am I going to despise him ridiculously and he won't be the favorite anymore? Because it's kind of like ice cream. Like with ice cream, like, oh my gosh, my favorite is chocolate. Like I love chocolate. I can't get enough chocolate. Can't get enough chocolate. Can't get enough Enzo. Enzo's my favorite. And then you kind of get bored and they say, no, you know what? I don't like chocolate anymore. Now I want pistachio. Yeah, pistachio is my favorite today. Like today I like pistachio, right? Like our tastes change and our situations change. And so maybe our favorites will change too. So do you guys out there have a favorite kid? You don't have to say it out here on, but even if you just do a thumbs up or a heart or a smiley face or something to acknowledge that, yes, you may have a favorite child, or you may have asked the question, was I a favorite? Was any of my siblings a favorite? Or like, wow, do me and my husband or me and my partner have favorites? Do we play favorites? So, yeah. So I'm thinking to myself, is it such a bad thing to have a favorite? I don't know. And then I kind of did a little bit of research. Like, I was looking out there online to see, like, is this a phenomenon that I'm the only person that's concerned with? And I'm not. And there's some really good articles out there that talk about, the whole dynamic between parent and child and favorites, right? And they're saying that, believe it or not, that it is completely normal. And that like 70%, it's like 74% of moms have a favorite and 70% of dads have a favorite, right? And that you would kind of think that like, the baby of the troop would be the favorite, and it sounds like no, it's not the baby of the troop that is the favorite, which I thought was really. It's typically not the favorite. I thought that was completely backwards. I would have thought that the baby would have been the favorite because they get showered all the attention. But then I guess they said that like the eldest or the firstborn never kind of is concerned or feels any issues with favoritism, probably because they're the firstborn, right? And the youngest doesn't feel any issues with favoritism. There may be a favorite, they may know that, but it doesn't like faze them. They're like okay with it because they get a lot of attention because they're the youngest. The one who tends to suffer the most is that middle kid. Not, it's the Marsha, it's the Jan syndrome, right? Marsha. That like Jan was the second born, and she always felt like Cindy got all the attention for being baby, and Marsha got all the attention for just being, beautiful senior Marsha. So I mean, if you had to boil down this research that I saw, that's kind of, it's like the Brady Bunch effect. That like the littles, don't seem to care if they're a favorite or not because they are getting all the attention that they need because they're the smallest in the family. And the oldest feels really secure in their position in the hierarchy and doesn't really care about the favoritism thing. It's that middle kid who's got all the issues. But you know what? I guess it also says that like the research kind of said that regardless if you do play favorites or not, like if you are like blatantly out there playing favorites, regardless if you or if you're like really concerned about making sure that you treat both of your kids or all of your kids equally, that whatever camp you're from, that I'm going to treat everyone equally or I'm going to shower my favorite kid with stuff, that no matter what you do, your kids are going to feel or believe that one of the siblings is the favored one. So like you could work really hard to make sure you're treating everybody equally. It doesn't matter. They're still going to feel like one is favorited. Is that right? So, but, is there anything really wrong with playing favorites? Like, I guess I'm trying to think, did it scar me? I didn't really particularly. I mean, I might have later on in life. I kind of felt like, gosh, why can't I be as beautiful and special? And like, why can't they dote over me? But you know what? I survived. And I don't think I would change a thing, right? I think that's just part of being a sibling. So, I feel bad because like, all I can do is think back on my own experiences, on how I felt as a sibling and how I felt my parents treated me. But that is completely different than how I parent my kids. So maybe they feel differently. And maybe it's a generational thing. I don't know. But they talked about like the research that they did was research of kids that were like within 4 years of each other. So maybe the dynamic is different if there's more than 4 years. Maybe like if the dynamic is where like the sibling is 7 years or 10 years older than the other. Or if they're twins. Oh my goodness, what happens when we've got twins? Somebody out there who have twins, do you like find yourself thinking, or do you think that they feel favoritism? If they feel favoritism differently because they're the same age and they're twins. And how do you, you're gonna treat your kids differently, right? I don't know. Like the whole thing has kind of got me perplexed and thinking, although we mean, and basically this research said you may never ever tell your kids that you had a favorite or have a favorite, but you do. And you may not even be able to pinpoint who that is in your heart, but you have one. And again, I wonder if it's normal for you to like have a favorite one day and not the other. Because there are moments where like I do not favor my son when he's throwing a temper tantrum at the Chick-fil-A. And there are moments where I do not favor my daughter when she is, licking ketchup off the floor. So yeah, it's complicated, right? And I guess I think that the thing that we need to remember is no matter if we show favoritism or not, they're going to feel favoritism. So the best that we can do is continue to tell them that we love them no matter what, right? We love them forever and ever, no matter what. No matter what they do, we will never change it. We love them and that they're special in some way. They are special. They are kids that were put here for a purpose in our lives, and they're put here, and I always say to him, you were put here on earth. God put you here for a reason. You don't know what that reason is yet, but you have a purpose. And I have to believe that that purpose is very special and that I love them madly, right? Okay, I say that now because they're not like tearing it right now. Ask me that, at cocktail hour in another hour, right? When I'm like, they're making me nuts. Or my kid is throwing Legos at me under the door. All right. So I would love to hear your experiences and what you think about favoritism. What your experience was as a sibling and with your parents, and what your experiences were like as a parent with their kids. Or what if the single kid dynamic, like a single kid? Do you think that like they get any kind of scarring or damage because they are the single kid and they're just like constantly favored, and are they put at any kind of disadvantage in the real world when they get out there? Or like I said, the twin dynamic. Those of you with twins or single kids, I would love to know this more, or the dynamic of the age ranges, or boy, girl. Like, do you think that there's just like boys feel favoritism stronger than girls, or like it's so complicated, right? I can't figure it out, and I won't figure it out because I'm a mess, but I'm just going to do my best to show them that I love them and not flip my schnizzle when they're making mama crazy. But I digress. Thank you for joining me today. Would love to hear your comments, thumbs up, likes, hearts. Share this with your friends. Would love to get some feedback. Also want to let you know that we are doing wine tasting on Friday night, 5 o'clock Eastern time, as usual. Hot Mess Mama Live with wine tasting, and getting back to the kid snack stuff. So what we're going to be tasting is pudding and Jell-O with wine. So keep a lookout for the post for that so that you know what we're going to be tasting, and join along with us. And so have a great Wednesday. Love you much, moms. Hang in there. Friday's just around the corner. Talk to you soon. Have a good one. A favorite one, or not so favorite one, or a semi-favorite one. I don't know. What's your flavor? Oh, what's your flavor? What's your flavor? Who's your favorite? Okay. Bye, guys.